Hey, what's up, spooky fam? Today's video is part 6 to my series that I kind of started talking about weird, underrated, under-recommended, strange, just a horror that may not be on your radar for one reason or another. I'm a big fan of kind of giving all horror a chance, which is kind of how I got roped into the Charles Band universe. But nonetheless, I do have a letterboxd list corresponding to this so you can follow along. I will leave it linked down below. If you do enjoy this video, please go ahead and give it a thumbs up. Subscribe for more. I do have part 7 and 8 on the way. I'm so excited to just kind of be shining a light on movies that maybe you just skipped or never heard of for one reason or another. I just love these kind of videos, so strap in because we got 10 wild ones coming at you today. Starting off at number 10 with Horrors of Malformed Men from 1969. After escaping from an asylum, a medical student assumes the identity of a mysterious dead man who appears to be his doppelganger and gets lured to a sinister island ruled by a mad scientist and his malformed men. And this one is Japanese language, just in case some of you may not like subtitles, but just this one kind of gives me the Island of Dr. Moreau vibes. So if that intrigues you, put it on your list. At number 9, we have a film called Ava's Possessions from 2015. Ava is recovering from demonic possession. With no memory of the past month, she must attend Spirit Possession Anonymous, a support group to figure out what happened to her. I wanted to add this to the list because I have this on DVD and I've had this for quite a while, and I kind of wanted to make a note and a reminder to myself to watch this film. Number 8 is a movie called Eat from 2014. If you like body horror, this one is probably for you. A struggling actress can't handle the stress of failing and starts eating her own flesh. This one is another one that I've had on my watch list for quite a while, but I have not watched it yet, and another one that I'm kind of making the note to go ahead and watch. I'm actually working on a series of movie reviews where we go back and watch movies that we skipped for one reason or another, like that we skipped, not like underrated movies or like, but like mainstream movies. Like, for example, one of them is Underwater. I've never seen it, and I feel like that's where we're gonna kick off that series. But I don't know, I just feel like these videos are a little diary, if you will, like a verbal diary, so that I can remember to watch things and to recommend things to you. 7, though, a movie I have seen and I do recommend, Absentia from 2011, directed by Mike Flanagan. I wanted to say that just to rope you guys in because it is one of his first films, if not it is his first film, and it is quite good for a first film. A woman and her sister begin to link a mysterious tunnel to a series of disappearances, including that of her own husband. And while this film is quite low budget, it works. I feel like Mike Flanagan can make a dumpster, like a shoe in a dumpster work, you know? Like, he's just very creative. And I think that this movie specifically shows his creativity. Number 6 is a movie called A Horrible Way to Die from 2010. An escaped murderer is in pursuit of his ex-girlfriend, who has fled to start a new life in a small town. And I wanted to put this one on this list because it is directed by Adam Wingard, who has done some of my favorite VHS segments, but also the Blair Witch movie, the recent Blair Witch movie from 20s, not the like new remake, but you know, the like more recent one. He's done a bunch of films. I believe he even went on to do the Godzilla films, but this is like the humble beginning. At number 5 is The Breach from 2022. If I'm not mistaken, this is an adaptation of a Nick Cutter novel. When a mangled body with strange wounds washes ashore, John Hawkins is compelled to investigate one more case before retiring as chief of his small town. We were lucky enough to get a screener for this a little early a couple years ago, and I feel like this was one of the first films that like us, as Alex and I, as like a podcast and like as like media coverage, we got a screener for, and I just kind of wanted to, I remembered how cool. I don't know, I think you guys would really like it if you guys haven't heard of it, or if you haven't seen it. This next film, Suburban Gothic 2014, is by a director who does some like quirky films, but I feel like it works because a few of his films do star Matthew Gray Grubler, and I feel like he sells the roles. But this one is about an awkward, unemployed man who can talk to the dead, teaming up with a rebellious bartender to find the vengeful ghost who has been terrorizing their town. This one is definitely more of a horror comedy, also starring Kat Dennings, who I feel like is super underrated and like not in a lot of horror whatsoever. Even though this is a horror comedy, it still works. This director also did a film with Matthew Gray Grubler and Barbara Crampton called King Knight, and while that is not a horror movie, it's still a bit of cult and it's quite fun. Next up is Charlie's Farm from 2014. 4 friends head into the Australian outback to investigate an urban legend about Charlie's Farm, where legend has it an angry mob killed a sadistic family, and they encounter a giant with a thirst for revenge. I believe this one does star Kane Hodder, to my knowledge. But if you guys like a cheesy revenge film, go ahead. And number 2 is a movie called Trim Season from 2023. This is like the perfect 420 horror movie. A group of young people go to a remote marijuana farm where they hope to make quick cash, but they discover the location's dark secrets and now must try to escape the mountain on which they are trapped. And if I can sell this to you in any way, Alex Esso is in it, and I feel like that's all I have to say. If you like horror movies about weed and Alex Esso, what could go wrong? And at number 1, we have another horror comedy called All Eyes from 2022. A disgraced podcast host interviews an eccentric farmer who claims to have a monster living in the woods near his house. And I genuinely feel like this movie would be a really good double feature with Deadstream. Just not like the found footage aspect of it, or like not the like first person recording aspect of it, but the fact that it has to do with one like a disgraced YouTuber and the other a disgraced podcaster. I feel like it would be a really cool double feature. And they both came out the same year, pretty sure. Anyways, that was 10 more horror, weird, strange, underrated, underrecommended horror movies that you perhaps may have skipped, that you maybe never heard of. Let me know if you've seen any of these in the comments, and I will see you guys very soon. Sayonara, Spooky fam.